great way to update your kitchen for fall is to freshen up your cabinets with a new coat of paint. So Sharon's back now, and you're going to show us how to get that professional finish. You got to take your time and follow all of the steps because you don't want to put them back up there and they're still sticky or it doesn't look professional.
Well, that's it. It's very transformative, as you've seen with lots of projects that I've done, but it's not super easy. It's not like just painting a wall. You know, there's a lot more prep that's involved. So if you take a look at that Hamptons project again that we just showed, when you see the before and the after, just to remind you, like, it is so transformative, right?
Huge difference. Take a look at the before shot. So it's a darker kitchen. You see those, you know, the dark colors that we loved in the 80s and the 90s a little bit. And then look at the lightness of that.
Right?
And so these the cabinetry was just painted.
It was just painted.
It was just painted.
And honestly, it always, if it's done right, it looks like it's brand new. And, and that's the key, because you're saving yourself a lot of money. You're not putting stuff in the landfill, so it's all good. It's all really good. So I wanted to bring a little sample of the painted cabinet here to the studio. So I picked up at a salvage shop some old cabinets. So you've got your before, your typical hardware, the light wood, which again, it can work in a space, but when you're ready to transform it, it doesn't always have to be white. You can transform it with paint. This is a beautiful dark gray overcoat. And then you can see that I also changed the hardware, because that's a key thing when we get into the steps. We're going to talk about that. But think about the jewelry, right? Like, you're going to add some bling. So some nice champagne bronze brings it up to, you know, 2019 and beyond.
That's where you show your personality with the jewelry.
Absolutely, absolutely. You don't want to forget about that. And on that note, one of the first things you've got to do is take off the hardware. If you're going to go to the effort of painting, this is your chance. I had just a single hole in those. I patched it. So that I could do a double hole, because I could have used that hole, but I didn't want it way down low. It was too low. So I wanted. So think about those things when you are going to be doing your cabinets. And certainly, if you've got wood, solid wood, it's a lot easier. You've got more, you know, more flexibility. But you can also paint laminate wood. As well, or laminate kitchen cabinets. So here I just brought some samples of your typical sort of apricot colored, even, you know, it's still got it's brand new actually, this particular one, so it took a little bit more effort to scuff it up, but you can see with the sheen, you want to cut that down. Even though you're painting, you're not staining, you got to cut that down. So I went at it with an 80 grit sandpaper. Okay, so you can feel it trace.
This is the hard part. The sanding is like the hard part.
And you're not having to get it right down to raw wood, but the more rough it feels, the better the paint is going to stick, for sure. So I've got an 80 grit here, a semi-fine, sort of 100, and then even a 220 that you're going to use throughout the stages. Okay, so you've removed your hardware, you've sanded it, you clean it. Make sure you clean it no matter what.
What are you cleaning it with?
Trisodium phosphate is what I tend to use, TSP, and you can now get it in like a spray. It's already diluted, so really easy. Clean it with a clean, wet sponge and make sure that it's dry. And then, you know, you've got your sanding, and then after you've sanded, if you're still worried, especially with something with a lot of detail like this, you want to use a tack cloth. And I sometimes skip that stuff myself, and I did it properly here, and I'm like, oh, what a difference! Like, it just gets.
Why are you using that?
Feel it.
Oh, so this is
it's sticky cheesecloth.
So you're using this to get in this?
Exactly, and it gets all the sand residue, and it just takes it all out. Because otherwise, you're going to paint it into your surface, right? So you get in with your tack cloth, and then you're ready to prime.
Oh yeah, it's sticky.
Right? I know. It's going to stay on you.
That's what you want. That's
what you want. Exactly. So then for priming, with the wood, you can use advanced primer. But if you've got laminate, I would recommend using sticks primer, because it sticks to sort of hard to paint surfaces. So here I've primed it. Again, after you prime it to get a perfectly smooth finish, use the 220 sandpaper. Sand it again. So again, you want to find a spot in your house where you can lay all these cabinets out flat. Tip. You learn the hard way. Put tape on the back and label where they go in your kitchen, okay? They don't all go back on the same way. So save you a lot of time, trust me. So make sure you do that painter's tape on the back. You can write it and just stick it on the back, and that makes your life easier.
Especially for the drawers, wherever they're from.
Exactly. So map it all out. And then you're ready to paint with advanced. I prefer advanced. The Alkyd, it's like an Alkyd hybrid. It goes on so smooth. As you can see here, you kind of get that, you know, very professional, sort of professional, almost spray painted look. If you use a really good quality angle sash, polyester brush, and if you're rolling, use a microfiber in a really low pile, even with the satin finish, okay? And 2 coats, let it dry, and away you go. New kitchen.
Couple of pics just of other color options that we'll show you as we move out to break, but it doesn't have to be white, it doesn't have to be dark gray. You've got gorgeous yellow, you've got blue, you've got green. You can have some fun with your cabinet. cabinetry.
Absolutely. Go to the effort of picking a color that works for your kitchen.
That's right.
Have fun.
Sharon, thanks for that.